Welcome back, friends and families, boys, girls, and goldfish. My name is Imogen. This is your Thursday dose of the songs that changed my life. This is a twice weekly podcast series that I started a couple of weeks ago, rather, in promotion and in support of my new book called My Life, My Songs, My Healing. And I thought, what better way to, discuss the magical powers of songwriting than to chat with other songwriters from around the country of the world, actually, because I've got people coming from all over the world to talk about their songs and how they have changed their lives. Tonight, I am blessed to be joined by, all the way from Northern Virginia, Joe Downer. How are you, my love?
Hi, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, are you good? What's going on? Tell me about yourself.
Oh no, I'm just shifting in my seat. I'm good.
You're good? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I just realized my camera angle is terrible, so I'm going to move you up. But while, can you introduce yourself a little bit and tell the world, who is Joe Downer? No pressure.
If somebody else can figure that out for me and let me know, that'd be great. No, hi. Yeah, my name is Joe Downer. I'm an Americana artist from Washington, D.C. Just released a brand new single this past Friday, and I'm really excited to be talking about my next single, which will be coming out on New Year's Eve right now with you, Emma. So lots of fun and new and exciting things on the horizon. So
the exclusive world premiere tonight, John. I'm super excited.
Yes.
So you've been on the music scene for a while. You're folk Americana. You've 2020 has been a crazy year for a lot of people, particularly musicians and creative people, which, I think it's been the year of like, you can either show up or you can chip out type thing. And so the fact that you are releasing so much music has been incredible. Can you tell me what was the motivation behind Prelude?
So I wrote Prelude probably about 1.5 years, 2 years ago, maybe. And it was really kind of, I don't want to call it a crisis song, but it was kind of really evaluating like, who am I? What are my core beliefs? Where am I going in life? What's going on? What do I believe? Who am I? I mean, essentially, it's kind of all those things. Yeah. I came from a somewhat conservative environment, and so kind of questioning a lot of that in new ways led to some of the stuff. You actually see some like Bible references in my song. Really just kind of considering where I am in that whole scheme of things, I guess.
Right. It's I feel like songwriting is one of those rare tools that you can, it's almost like a self-therapeutic tool, right? Of like, okay, let's dig deeper into ourselves and get really vulnerable. So I'm curious as to like, how is that process for you as you go from such deep self-reflection into then finding the courage to share that with people? What's that process like for you?
I mean, at first it's all just personal. Like, nobody else is going to listen to this until I'm ready for them to listen to it. And so the first part of it is just like, I need to get this out because I can't not get it out. I've got like, it's just, you're compelled to, as an artist to create like that. And I think it's also just how we deal with emotions. Emotions are, and especially painful emotions. It's kind of like, I know my last name's Downer and it's kind of funny, but I do write like a bunch of sad songs. And so it's just like, yeah, we guess. But it really helps to process some of those painful emotions that you struggle with and chew on and work with. And then to have a complete song that you can kind of not necessarily hang your hat on, but it's something that you can almost use as like a walking stick to kind of help keep you moving forward. Because it's not like you stop carrying pain sometimes. Sometimes it's always there, but you've got more support because you've been able to express it in such a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I love that. And I totally agree with you. So what was your songwriting process for this particular song, the Prelude?
For this song, I mean, typically for the songs that I write, I usually start with a melody, and I'll usually come up with melodies in my head if I'm just kind of jamming around on the guitar, or more often than not, I'll be taking a walk or driving in my car. And I'll just kind of, especially if I'm really starting to kind of hear a melody in my head, I'll just completely turn the radio down and just sit in silence in my car and just kind of like start playing this song in my head. And so I usually start with melodies and then lyrics, and really the melodies kind of include words. And as I sing these melodies, I'll just like, Scooby-Doo my way through these melodies, and all of a sudden these words will start kind of coalescing and forming, and then they start to phrases start to form around them, and all of those things come from kind of not, it depends on my motivation of the song. If it's like an emotionally driven song, if it's something that I'm dealing with and I'm trying to get out, then those phrases and phrasings and stuff will start to coalesce around those emotions and those feelings. And then, I start to tie them together and turn it into something that I'm proud of.
Yeah. So what was the motivation behind like why now? Why is now? I have no idea how old you are, but why is now the time to, start searching so introspectively into your history and who you are? Like, you're not old enough for a midlife crisis. You're not, Linkin Park was a thing of like, 15 years ago. What was it now that it was like, now is the time to figure out who the fuck am I and what does my conservative, religious, XYZ upbringing, how has that contributed to you now? Why is now the time to break through that?
I think I put music on the back burner for a long time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I actually have a date, like a career outside of music.
What? You're a real person?
I'm a real person, yes. And I spent a lot of time focusing on that. And I put music on the back burner, and I never really fully gave up on it, but there would certainly be like weeks that would go by that I wouldn't even touch my guitar. And then after, a while, I started, being pulled back to it. And some of that was I started playing out because we needed the money. And that was something I knew I could do. I was like, I'm good at this. I can do it. It can help. But then when I started doing that, like the songs just started coming back, the love of the craft started coming back. And so it was really, the song also deals with self-esteem issues, a lot of feelings of inadequacy and, imposter syndrome, like you don't really belong because you're not good enough to belong. So those are, a lot. I often write, songs or snippets of songs that kind of have to do with that. And that's just something that I've always dealt with from, my days in grade school all the way to today. But getting the music out is very helpful. And not only from a therapeutic sense, but it's something that I can look at and be proud of. Like I made that, like that's actually a huge confidence boost. And then you work up the courage to actually play it in front of somebody or a group of people or a room full of people, and they respond to it. And it's like, okay, like maybe I'm not an imposter. Maybe I do belong. And so that's been very kind of a huge boost to my confidence, I'd say.
That's awesome. That's beautiful. It's beautiful. So what was the biggest breakthrough, do you think, that you, sorry, I know that like, it's not about the biggest breakthrough, but like breakthrough with other people. Have you had any feedback from other people? I hate the word breakthrough. It's like become so overused these days. Have you had any breakthroughs from other people who have resonated with the song? And like fully understanding that it hasn't been yet fully released, right?
It's not. It's not fully released yet. Yeah.
Do you play your songs before you?
Yeah.
Like, do you play them out before you release them?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I've certainly played this one out a few times. And if folks were listening when I played it, because they're not always.
That's good.
That's just the life of being a musician. Like, oh, you're playing to an empty room, huh? But
yeah, I'd like to thank Jack from
we've all been there.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the reception I've got from friends and family has certainly been very supportive. I worked with a producer named Mark Williams from Sucker Punch Studios out of Bethesda, and he really helped me produce the song. Like I'm a singer-songwriter, so I usually just like sit down with my guitar and I chord them out and I write the chords and stuff. And I've got a little bit of a producer's ear when it comes to other people's music, but sometimes when it's my own song, I have a hard time hearing kind of the cool, like, oh, a neat guitar swell would go here, or a little key thing would go really well here. And so I was super happy to work with Mark on that, because he's got just such an amazing ear for that. And he's just also an awesome guy to work with. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn. He loves this song. He keeps telling me, he texted me when my song Anna came out last week, and he's like, dude, I love Anna, but I love Prelude. Like, and so it's just like so my overall, the response from those that have heard it seems to be pretty positive. So that's been awesome. That's been cool that somebody can relate to it. So
it's okay. So like the relation is more, do you think it's more lyrical, or do you think it's more musical?
I mean, I think it's both. One of the cool things I like about Prelude is if you sit down and read the lyrics, it's very, it's very uncertain, and it's very kind of like sometimes sad and a lot of questioning. And so if you were just to read the lyrics without having heard the melody, you would think that it's like kind of a sad, dirgy song. Right. But then when you hear the melody, it's actually an up-tempo kind of like foot stomping melody. And so I always love when artists do that, is when they have like kind of sad lyric, like listen to like any Bruce Springsteen song that everybody always sings at bars and restaurants and stuff. And they're all singing like Born in the USA and stuff. It's like, have you ever actually looked at the lyrics to Born in the USA? Like, it's not a happy song. It's not a happy song.
Really? What's it about?
Yeah. Well, it's like really like, like all the hardships that go that these people are suffering. But all anybody knows is the chorus, and they just sing it, loud and proud. And it's just like, actually, it's like a critical look at our society.
Stay woke, friends. Stay woke. Okay. I've unpopular opinion. I'm not the hugest fan of Bruce Springsteen, but I might become now. I don't know. We'll see.
I've never gotten into Bruce Springsteen a whole lot either, but I had a buddy of mine who told me he's like, you should really check him out. And this buddy, I was shocked that he listened to Bruce Springsteen. And I was like, okay, if you listen to him, I'll give him a shot, because I've always kind of considered Bruce to be like mainstream and super, whatever. But when you actually look at his songwriting, he's legit.
That's cool. Who are your influences?
I feel like a lot of them are pretty conventional. With a few weird outliers. I grew up like a hard rock and heavy metal guy. And so, like I had Metallica t-shirts and stuff. Megadeth.
Sorry, I'm laughing because I'm like, okay, Megadeth, I can understand. Because it always like cracks me up when people are like, yeah, I'm into metal. I like Metallica. And I'm like, cool. Okay. Yeah. Because I'm the same way. I spent all of my late teens and early 20s listening to nothing but like death metal and black metal. And
yeah. No, for sure. And so a lot of kind of the thrashier metal stuff, not so much the hair metal. But I just really like gravitated towards the skill and kind of the ferocity of thrash metal. And that later, I hesitate to say matured because it just transitioned. Like I haven't always had the same musical focuses throughout my life, but it was a lot of the harder stuff. And then when I discovered like 90s rock music, I just, the doors opened for me. And so the authenticity of like the grunge scene, I feel, when it first really kind of broke out, was so awesome to me, because you had people like Kurt Cobain and bands like Mudhoney and Smashing Pumpkins and all these other bands that it's just like, oh wow, like this sounds gritty. Like it doesn't sound super produced. It doesn't sound polished and clean. Like Eddie Vedder's voice is just like, this sounds like raw. And it was just really cool. It was a nice like fresh breath of air after hair metal and stuff got so carried away in the late 80s. And so a lot of those influences are kind of my foundation. And then the last 10, 15 years, I've really been getting into a lot of the softer, like acoustic singer-songwriter stuff. And so I look at, Tom Petty, I feel like is influenced any Americana artist, but like Glenn Hansard and artists like that. I've gotten into some of the like what's their name? That's the problem with streaming, is that like you just have it on and you don't necessarily read who it is you're listening to. Paper Kites. I've gotten into like Paper Kites. And a bunch of stuff of that genre too. But then I also have a few, there's an artist called Joel Plaskett out of Canada. He's just like this really awesome, kind of grew up in a hard rock band and then did kind of more folky stuff. And I've got a few of his records and they're fantastic. Huge Frank Turner fan out of London, England, who really does this awesome blend of punk music and folk music. And so he's like, it's awesome. And so my style doesn't necessarily emulate him, but he's definitely an influence because he's a fantastic songwriter.
That's cool. That's awesome. So what makes Prelude your breakthrough song, like your life-changing song? How has, is this your first attempt at writing about real shit, or, what makes Prelude the pivotal moment of your life?
I guess to sound conceited, I guess it's my first successful attempt at writing about real shit.
Okay, that's not conceited. Why is that conceited?
I wrote plenty of songs back in the day, and but most of them were just like crappy songs. But I feel like you have to write crappy songs so that you can develop to write good songs. And so I finished the song and I was like, I'm really proud of this song. Like there's not a lyric that really makes me roll my eyes when I read it, or there's not something that like, oh my gosh, that part sucks. Like I'm just like I'm very proud of the song. And it was really my first, as I've been starting kind of this solo singer-songwriter Americana thing that I'm doing, it was really one of my first songs that I wrote in that vein. And it was a bit of a deviation from anything else I'd ever written. And so that was really helpful. And then also just to be able to work through those complex emotions and things, and then produce something out of it. Like it's a big hope for me. I struggle with depression. And so to be able to create something positive out of negative emotions and negative things that are going on, or stuff that you're struggling with, was cool. And I hope when people hear it, it's not the most reassuring song. The very last line of the song is carry me into the stars on high that I may know the dark is only just a prelude for the day, only just a prelude for the day, surely just a prelude for the day. And so it's really just begging to be, I'm essentially talking to God here. I'm like, okay, I don't know what I necessarily believe about you right now, but I'm in this mire and I need some sort of perspective shift. I need somebody to lift me up so I can look back and see from a different point of view. And so that's what that line really is talking about. And because like when you're in the dark, when it's nighttime, you can't see the daytime because it's on the other side of the world. But if you carry me out into the stars so that I can look back, I can see the whole picture. I can see that, daylight is on the horizon, it's coming. And so it's really, a plea essentially for just like, I need help holding on here. So give me something.
Yeah, no, it's powerful. Speaking of which, I would love to hear you actually say the words behind the song before we listen to the song. Would you feel comfortable reading it like a monologue?
Reading the lyrics? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, cool.
See if I can do it from memory. I'm sure. I mean, I wrote it. I should be able to, right?
No difference.
Are you want me to go ahead and do it now?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool. My fickle heart, it burns like fire for the things that I desire. Surely they will be the end of me. And the evil thoughts that I conspire to numb the pain and call you a liar, I know are nothing more than fantasy. I rode a wave of faith and fire, then crashed upon a lonely mire. If I could only fly again. Of loving arms and longing hearts, I long to see the day when I am finally found again. Unbury me and bear the scars like the weight of this whole world your heart has borne unto the end. They think I'm a better man than I really am when I'm caught between a love that can and a life that we both know can never be. And I think about the fall of man and the fools we were to not understand, but they now have this old fool's sympathy. The weight of all my pain and time will bury me neath dirt and vine and follow all my days. Of loving arms and longing hearts, I long to see the day where I am finally found again. Unbury me and bear the scars like the weight of this whole world your heart has borne unto the end. This soul inside of me is slowly rupturing. Torn apart, you hold my heart, restore me. Of loving arms and longing hearts, I long to see the day where I am finally found again. Unbury me and bear the scars like the weight of this whole world, your heart. There goes my light. Like unbury me and bear the scars like the weight of this whole world, your heart is born into the end. And carry me unto the stars on high, that I may know the dark is only just a prelude for the day. Only just a prelude for the day. Surely just a prelude for the day. Thank you. It's very weird not singing that.
No. But I think it's important not only so that we can, because a lot of people don't understand when lyrics are being sung, what's actually being sung.
Yeah.
KissThisGuy.com is a great example of that. If you've ever seen that website of misheard lyrics. But I also feel like there's a power behind being able to, speak your lyrics into truth. It just really highlights just how raw, how emotional, how vulnerable, how strong you are as a result of this song. So thank you. That was most of the time I find myself being asked to say the words myself. So thank you for sparing me the what's the word? The role.
Well, if you guys buy Emma G's book, then you can read the words for yourself. So. Oh
my goodness.
There you go.
Have the copy. Yeah, Joe, you're amazing. Thank you. It just came out on Amazon today. I was super pumped. Yeah, my life, my songs, my healing. All about the stories behind my songs and how we all go raw and real and kind of scary to be that naked with ourselves. It's nice. But on that note, let's have a listen to Prelude. I don't know how you say it in this country. Go on, Joe Dana.
It actually sounds better when you say it.
See, that's what I mean. Like, it's the Kiwi accent. Don't be fooled. Here we go.
My fickle heart, it burns like fire for the things that I desire. Surely they will be the end of me. And the evil thoughts that I conspire to numb the pain and call you a liar, I know are nothing more than fantasy. I rode a wave of faith and fire, then crashed upon a lonely mire. If I could only fly again. Of loving arms and longing hearts, I long to see the day when I am finally found again. stars. If the weight of this whole world your heart has rolled to the end, and carry me unto the stars on high, that I may know the dark is only just a prelude for the day. Only just a prelude for the day. Show me just a prelude for the day.
Such a beautiful song, Joe. It's such a beautiful song.
Thank you so much.
I really, it's carrying on. Whew. No, thank you. That's. I'm another person who I have a tendency to write really deep songs with, in major chords, or really positive songs in minor chords, minor, chord progressions. I love how you've played with it. I love how you've, made me feel something. One of the top quotes that I will often tell my songwriting clients is, "Don't tell me, show me." Mm-hmm. And I think you've done that really beautifully. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
That's gorgeous. Cool. So before we wrap up, I just wanted to run past you, where can people find your music?
So you can find me on Spotify. Just search Joe Downer. My latest single, Anna, just came out on Black Friday, and that's streaming now. And then Prelude, the song you just heard, will be coming out on Spotify on New Year's Eve. That's December 31st.
Nice.
And so you can find me on Spotify. You can also find me on Facebook and Instagram at Joe Downer Music. And of course, my website, joedownermusic.com.
Branding on point. I love it. Joe Downer Joe Downer music for everything. I love that. Can I ask what made you want to release the song on New Year's Eve?
Part of it was the timing. I wanted to get it out in 2020, and that's right against the wall of 2020.
I love it.
Because I wanted to set the stage. I plan on putting some more stuff out in 2021. So I wanted to really kind of get the ball rolling on that.
Nice. And give yourself permission to end 2021 with leaving all behind all these, self questions and reflections.
Kind of, yeah, in a way. And it's okay, here's something positive at the end of my year. I released 2 songs that I'm proud of, I've worked hard on, that mean a lot to me, and that I hope people enjoy as well.
Awesome. Well, I enjoyed them. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
Been beautiful. Thank you so much. And for everybody else who wants to keep in touch, by all means, again, this is the Songs That Changed My Life podcast. This is Joe Downer. Follow him, Joe Downer Music, on all platforms. And of course, my book just hit Amazon today, My Life, My Songs, My Healing, talking about my process behind the songwriting. And if you're interested in learning how to write a song, do it. It is the best thing you can do for your soul, for the world, and for your healing. If you want more information on that, feel free to let me know, reach out. Otherwise, be good, be kind, spread love like it's going out of fashion. Be your own kind of superhero. And